This episode of Wine with Wheater is brought to you by Mind Health and their annual conference, the Mind International Forum, Australia's leading conference for families and professionals supporting children with developmental differences, running since 2005. This year's forum features world-class experts, including Dr. Robert Melillo and Dr. Carlo Ronaldo, alongside experienced functional pediatricians exploring brain health, autism, ADHD, and child development. Join myself, Rita Shamoon, on May 1st and 2nd at the Australian Turf Club, in person or via live stream, for 2 days of inspiring speakers and practical insights. Use the code SHAMOON26 for 15% off your registration. Link is in the show notes. Hello and welcome to Wine with Wheater, the podcast that is dedicated to engaging with health professionals and caregivers in meaningful discussions. I'm your host, Rita Shamoon, or as my clients call me, Wheater. I'm a pediatric speech pathologist and I am so excited to have you here. Each week, we deep dive into connecting you with caregivers and healthcare professionals, sharing their insights, stories, and key takeaways to help you with your child's diagnosis and your journey. Whether you are a parent, healthcare professional, a lifetime learner, or simply a wine enthusiast, you're in the right place. So let's sit back and relax and enjoy today's episode. Welcome back to Wine with Wheater, the podcast where we sit down, pour a glass, and share the stories that make us laugh, cry, and sometimes just feel a less alone in the world. Today, I'm so excited to welcome Natasha Delrosario. I think that's how I pronounce it.
Del
A mum.
Rosario. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, say that again for me.
That's okay. Del Rosario.
Delrosario.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tash. Natasha Delrosario, a mum, content creator, an incredible advocate for autism awareness. Tash shares her life online with honesty, warmth, and a sense of humor, giving us a window into the joys, challenges, and everyday moments of raising her two remarkable autistic daughters. We'll talk about parenting, advocacy, real life challenges, and the small victories that make it all worth it. So grab your glass of wine and settle in. This one is going to be an amazing episode. Tash, welcome to Wine with Wheater.
Hey, Rita. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be on your podcast. And can't wait to get into it.
For anyone listening, just for context, I put up a reel of our first interview. It was you in the car, and it was such a powerful episode. I have to admit, I was singing, you were crying, it was so wonderful. But in Sydney, the weather's a bit funny, and my phone wasn't so my computer was playing up. Tasha's phone was overheating, and half of the episode didn't work. However, I'm a big believer, and I know Tash is too, in alignment and making it happen for the greater good. And now we're here. I'm in my studio space. Tash is in her cooler home environment, and her phone's good to go.
Yeah.
Now, Tash, tell the listeners, if they don't know about you yet, about who you are and about your journey.
I'm Tash. I'm a mum to two beautiful girls on the spectrum, Ava and Aaliyah. They're 11 and 9. I love to share our life, our journey, all our hardship, our hard days, our good days, everything in between. I started sharing my life online about 2 years ago. I was thinking about this for a very long time, and it's because we've gone through a lot in terms of my kids' progress and regression. And I always felt like I wish I had someone, that could maybe show me the reality of it, because I always felt alone. So I was just hoping, I really just wanted to show people everything that was working with my kids in hopes that would help another family like mine, but more importantly, to make other families feel less alone, because that was really important to me. So, yeah.
I love that. As a speechy, I talk with my speech pathology friends, and your name does come quite up a bit, does come up a bit in our conversations, because you are such a true advocate to the reality of what it's like raising a child with a disability or children with a disability. You don't sugarcoat the situation, but you actually show how you have changed your life to suit your children better. And what I also love as a speech pathologist, you show what we teach you in the clinic space, which reinforces the value of making it functional, right? Applying the strategies on a day to day basis to help the kids. So, a massive thank you from myself, and I'm sure the rest of the allied health world. We are in awe of you, and we thank you for showing what we do that help your kids, which makes the journey for many parents so much easier.
Oh, thank you so much, honestly. And I should be thanking all the therapists. Like, if it wasn't for our first speechy, I honestly don't think I would be where I'm at, in terms of how I've learned to educate myself on how to speak with my kids, and obviously where how far they've come now with their speech. I don't think I would have known how to help them if I wasn't taught by our first speechy. So Nilab, I'll always have so much love for you. This was like when Ava was 3, she's 11 now, but I'll always remember you because you changed my life. You taught me how to speak to my daughter, how to actually talk to her instead of just talk around her.
Mm.
Yeah, she has taught me how to. Ava had no eye contact whatsoever. So, she taught me how to get onto her level, how to teach her first to, I guess increase her eye contact.
Engage.
So then,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah. So that,
Mm.
that made a huge difference in our life. And I always remember, I feel like Neela, our first speech therapist, I always search for her on Facebook just to see how she's going and stuff, because I have such a, she's in my heart always. She's made a huge difference and imprint on my life. So yeah, I'm very
Is
thankful.
she is she still practicing?
Yeah, she's still a speechy, but she also works with transitioning kids from like preschool to school to like kindergarten,
Okay. Yep.
but special needs kids. So additional
Oh.
needs kids. Yeah.
What was
So
her I'm gonna name drop her. What's her name? Neelab?
Neelab, yeah, she used to work at
Okay.
actually I don't know if I can say that, but
No,
that's
no, no,
fine.
don't mention the
Yeah,
clinic. But for
yeah,
anyone that knows a speech
yeah,
pathologist in
yeah,
Sydney, I'm assuming, called
yes,
Neelab, please
yeah,
share this episode with her, because
yes,
I, as a therapist, hearing words or that kind of testimonial from a parent
yeah,
just reinforces why we do what we do. And I appreciate you mentioning that, because a lot of people think speech pathology is just about bubbles and
mm,
fixing a stutter or a lisp. But you really showed it's about how do we communicate with our kids rather than talking around our kids.
yeah. She
And I
helped
want
me
to say,
connect with my child, and that's a
yes,
huge. You need that. You need that for your child to learn anything. Sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to let
no,
you know the
no, I
impact
love
she's
it.
had on me as a person, because I didn't have much education around how to speak to Ava at the time, because she was nonverbal. She was my eldest. She's my eldest.
Mm,
So yeah, she's changed our life, because since she
yeah,
taught me how to connect with my daughter through eye contact, that was like a domino for everything
yeah.
else that came after. Yeah.
100%. And I say in my clinic space, and I tell parents, connection creates communication. And Tash, on your platform, you show the world how you connect with your daughters. And myself, a lot of parents think it's just only about playing. You buy all these toys, you have to buy Pop Up Pirate and then get Potato Head. It's not about the toy. It's about how you connect. And Tash, you've shown on your platform how you connect through cooking, which I love with your kids, how you
Yeah.
connect through coloring with your daughters, how you
Yeah.
connect through martial arts with your daughters, how you connect through grocery shopping. And all of those activities we do with our children on a daily basis. And the more opportunities of connection, we foster healthier relationships and we create, as I said earlier, communication. Tash, what was your turning point where you realized you had to let go of the societal expectation of therapy to know
Mhm.
how to connect with your children?
Yes. I just want to say with that, because I was really stuck, and I thought of it as a job, because like taking my kids to speech
Mm,
therapy in the early days, and they're like, allocate this time so you can maybe work with the things that we did in the therapy. And it felt like it, another thing that you had to do, it actually felt like a work, which
mm,
when you think about work, anyone that thinks about work, it's not fun, right? Like it's like another thing you had to do on top of being a mom and all the other responsibilities that we carry. But then when I don't know what happened, but I feel like I was maybe cooking one day. I was making eggs for breakfast because that's what Ava started doing with me.
mm,
And I just thought to myself, come help me. She was a bit upset, so I wanted to redirect her. And I thought to
mhm.
myself, okay, she's like stirring. I'm like stirring, 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 pouring, pouring, all the things I was just like repeating. And then it just clicked to me. I'm like, this is my opportunity to teach my kids is in everything that we're doing together. And that's when she
Yep.
was learning so much. She was because I wasn't like being robotic with her, like sit down, we have to do this, which obviously no kid wants to sit down, wants to sit still. My kids especially, they couldn't do a task for more than 2 minutes.
Mhm.
But that was something that was interesting because it was a practical activity. It was interesting because she hadn't done it before. But because she loved it so much and I was there and I was interacting with her, it was like, an us thing. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
makeup. It doesn't have to be getting our nails done. It doesn't have to be shopping or anything. Everything that we do, whether it's folding, whether it's putting washing in the washing machine, like helping Aaliyah say, this is detergent, it goes in here, this is the liquid. And my kids had echolalia, so it was perfect for
Yes.
me to teach them. I built on that, and then, just language processing, which was perfect as well. So once I understood the meaning of those terms, then I
Mm.
knew to take advantage of every interaction I had with my kids because they are absorbing, they are learning through fun play, through us being connected in that moment, through giving them that independence because that's all they wanted. Kids don't want to be restricted, especially mine, and no kid should, but
Yeah.
have given them the freedom, something that would normally be like, no, 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 like, scared about getting them involved in, it actually helps with the connection, with the talking, with everything. So yeah, that was my turning point. Is like once I noticed how much enjoyment it brought my kids to be involved in everything that we were doing, and they were learning through that practice. So yeah.
My heart, Tash, is just so full and I'm smiling. And if you, I don't know if people have watched these episodes, but you could see how wide my grin is. What you were saying was music to my ears because I'm such a big advocate of enjoying any moment with your child because that creates that moment of communication. There's such a misconception therapy is a job, right? Go to the therapy appointment, sit down on a table, play with these games, and then go home and try and do that at home. That's
Yeah.
so unrealistic for parents managing
Yes.
everything else. And I
Yeah.
reflect to when I had three daughters under the age of three. I had a part of me saying, "Oh, Rita, you're not doing what you tell your patients. You're not sitting down, playing with them. You're such a hypocrite. You tell your patients to do this, but you're not doing it. What are you teaching?" And that was a turning point for me. I got my kids involved in everything because I had no time. My daughter would
Yes.
fold the washing with me, would stack the dishwasher together, would go grocery shopping together, would fold socks together. We would do everything together, which helped, again, like what you said, fostering with the relationship and supporting communication. So, whether you have a child that's neurodivergent or a typically developing child, it's all the same. Connection can be
Yes.
created when you follow a child's lead, follow a child's interest, and see where the magic goes. And Tash, I think I want you to be my poster girl right now because you are showing
It's so
what
beautiful.
what our job is all about. So thank you.
No, thank you. Honestly, yeah, as I said, I'll always be very thankful for people like yourself who take up that profession and help us because, yeah, without you guys, don't think we'd have the guidance that we have. It's just about us having the right approach, like embedding that into our daily life, not thinking about it as a chore because it can become
Mm.
a bit of a dreaded thing,
Mundane. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh,
100%.
another speech therapy
100%.
appointment. Yeah, 100% I agree.
Yeah.
I want to know now, before when you were off air, you said some people say your kids are faking it online. And
Yeah.
we all know autistic kids or any child How can you learn to fake? Like, it's just so an unrealistic term to say, and actually a disrespectful term to talk about a child that
Yeah.
way. How
Yes.
do you deal with those comments on an online basis when you are judged for your parenting and for the way your children are?
Look, my kids have taught me, if anything I've taken from being a mum to two beautiful girls on a spectrum, is learning to be very understanding. Everyone is
Mm,
walking a different, you know, life, and
yes.
everyone's going through different things. So yes, I've actually become so very patient because of my kids, and I've become very understanding. And I always think whenever anything comes out of anyone's mouth, I always think to myself, maybe they're going through this. Maybe
Yeah.
they've had a bad day. Maybe, never take it to heart, because I know from my kids as well. Sometimes they show signs of anger, happiness, frustration. Um, Not at the time of like an incident that's happened. It could happen an hour later, a day later. I just know because my kids like to reenact the scenario that happened, and that
Mm,
tells me where that feeling is maybe coming from. So I always have that front of mind when dealing with other people. Plus, I've had a very eventful childhood. And even though it probably wasn't the best upbringing, I'm very thankful because it's made me a very understanding person. So, yeah, I don't really take that to heart, because I just think maybe they're going through something. And
yeah.
I've been in that position. Yeah. Some
It's hard.
people find it easier to spread hate.
Hate.
Yes, it's like, why does that come so easy when like kindness and being nice to people, or like to me, I just think, because I would never do that to anybody. If I'm scrolling and I see something that I disagree with, I will just move on, because that's
Yeah.
just, it's not for me. But each to their own. I can't judge people because I don't know what they're going through, and that is it.
It says so much about a person's behavior and the way that they respond to it. And it takes a lot of, I would say, awareness, emotional awareness, because those
Yeah,
comments are really hurtful. And you said something really important. You would not treat people that way
yeah,
because that's your normal, right? But you
yeah.
don't know how they treat people because they possibly haven't been exposed or because of their own traumas and difficulties. They just don't have that awareness that their behavior is actually causing that. And this is, we can go on and on and on about this, but it's so important that I'm proud of you that you have that awareness, because it would be quite a toxic and heavy moment if you kept taking those comments to heart all the time.
Oh, 100%. And no offense, Rita, but
Yeah.
I'm too busy. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
it's not
my
the
life is full on. I
time.
just like, sorry, I can't take on anyone else's emotions. I've got my two
No, of
babies and
course not.
myself, and
Eggs with your
yeah.
daughter.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah.
You mentioned something. You went online, or you chose to go on the online platform because you felt like it was a really lonely moment time when your daughters were diagnosed. Do you
Yes.
feel comfortable going and talking about that time and what
Yeah.
support you received to get you out of that dark tunnel?
Yes, of course. I felt very isolated when my girls were both diagnosed. Even though I knew with Ava, it was a shock because I had no knowledge about autism. Like,
Mm.
I knew
Just
I
going to
knew there
interrupt
was
you
this.
briefly.
Yeah, go.
Let's tell the listeners. I should have said this earlier. Tell us about your first daughter, her age of
Yes.
diagnosis, and your second daughter of age of
Yeah,
diagnosis. Then we'll go from there. Yeah.
no problem. Ava was diagnosed at 2.5, 3. It took a long time to have her assessment done.
Mhm,
And she was diagnosed with level 2 at the time and global development delay.
mhm.
And Aaliyah was diagnosed at 3 with level 3 ASD, global development delay, and ADHD.
Okay. And how old are they now?
11 and 9, and Ava's been reassessed since with level 3 ASD and anxiety disorder.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they were both around the 2.5, 3-year-old range when they were diagnosed, and they're about 3 years
Yes.
apart as well. Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Uh,
So let's talk
the
about, yeah.
girls, the girls are
Yeah.
16 months apart.
Oh, sorry, 16 months apart.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because 11, 9, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now talk about when I'm assuming daycare would have made a comment about their
Yes.
behavior and you're like, I
Yes.
don't see that. Or maybe you're in denial, pushing it and asking people, do you see what the daycare's seeing? And we go from there. Yeah. What was that like?
Yeah. Ava's educator at daycare actually let me know that she thinks there are some signs of autism, and she's been in the educator space for a long time. So she just wanted to be very transparent with me because she said it was very important. I'll always remember her words that, early intervention is very important if, you want the best, I guess, outcome or like life for your child. And that hit me in the heart straight away because I know a lot of people might be offended by that. And that's what she said to me. She goes, I don't mean to hurt your feelings or anything. You're a great mum. And she was trying to like be very mindful of how I felt because it is a lot. And it's a lot for anybody, especially myself when I had no knowledge about autism. So obviously I was in shock and I was I felt guilty almost because it's like, why didn't I notice the signs? But I had no knowledge on it.
No knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, but I was very thankful and I acted very quick. Like she was 2 at the time. And I went and got her assessed. They said wait a little bit. So then 2.5, I went again and they kind of prolonged the process saying, she might outgrow some of these behaviors.
Was it a
Um,
pediatrician that said that?
yes. But
Interesting.
then
They said that.
yeah,
Okay.
yes. And then
Mm.
at that pediatrician, yeah, that said that to me. And then I thought I'm going to get a second opinion. So I went to another pediatrician who had much more knowledge, many years of, I guess being a pediatrician. He was a senior
Yeah.
pediatrician. And like when he seen her on that day, he immediately confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that put my mind at ease because I had already during that time frame of 5 months waiting for another diagnosis because like it takes so
They
long
do.
to
They
get
take
in.
long.
And that's
Yeah.
the worst part because
And
you're
that's the
already on edge.
exactly
Like,
100%.
please
And you're
tell me.
thinking
So, yeah.
every symptom, you're just like, oh, does Google say this is? And then you're faced with
Yes.
level 2, level 3, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what's worse to have? And then you
I
start to think,
know.
how can I not see that? That's how they are. And
Yes. And the
it's this
comparison and it
this
kills you.
cycle, yeah, and the
Yeah.
waiting, and you're just like, can someone just tell me an answer? I think somewhat to make you relieved to know that this is
Yes.
it, to give you
Yes.
the starting point of your journey.
100%. And then you can mourn, go through the mourning process because, yes, we all have that,
Mm,
we all envision what our kids' life is going to potentially be like
yeah.
before they even turn 1, right? Because we want the best life for them.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and that's what happened. And it was still very upsetting. I felt very guilty because I always thought to myself, what did I do wrong? And I think a lot of
Mm,
parents go through those feelings, and it's not anything like now that I know better, I know it's not something that is in our control.
mm.
Um, but I definitely felt very isolated, very alone because no one around me had children who were autistic. So it's not like
Yeah.
I could relate to anyone in my circle or talk to someone. Um, yeah, I felt really depressed if I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm,
And then with
yeah.
Ava, sorry, with Aaliyah, when she was diagnosed, I already knew because of Ava, because like my emotions, I was already in like, I was already feeling down. I was in the
Mm.
trenches. So I was like so paranoid that Aaliyah was going to be, only because I know by then I had learnt a lot about autism. And obviously, I feed the worst life scenario for my kids that I wouldn't wish that for Aaliyah either.
Mm.
So yeah, I panicked and I was so paranoid that I would like every little thing she would do, I'll be like, oh, is that a symptom of, because I had learned at that time that there's autistic traits is like there's like so many. It's a
It's such
spectrum.
a
It's not like
spectrum.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not she's not going to be exactly like Ava, but she was obviously mimicking Ava sometimes, but also I knew because she had her own like, tiptoeing, always flapping with the hands, which Ava never ever did, neither of the things, but they
Mm,
are signs of early, autism like showing. And yeah, when she was diagnosed, even though I knew in my heart, I still bawled my eyes out when I got in the car. It's like I held it together until I got in the car, and then I rang their dad and I bawled. I'm like, Aaliyah also got the diagnosis, and he knew immediately. Like our pediatrician was the same one who diagnosed
yeah.
Ava. He seen us in the waiting room. Like, I think he was just observing her behavior before he called us in, and immediately he said, just the way her eye contact was, the way she was, because both my girls have the eye stim where like they look
Yeah.
from the corner of their
Side.
eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of, yeah, he just knew instantly because of her behaviors. They were so obvious. But yeah, it still broke my heart for her, like, because I was thinking about all the what ifs. But that was before, because my mindset has shifted so much.
Yeah.
And since it has, my girls are thriving. So yeah.
You say that your mindset shifted so much. What was the
Yes.
turning point for you that made you somewhat take accountability and take it for what it is, and you can create a
Yes.
positive change, or take a victimhood perspective where poor me, and then that
Yes.
won't put you in the hole quite deeper. What was that turning
Yes.
point for you?
It was when I was seeing how much Ava was absorbing from that interaction we were having while she was helping me make her eggs, or, want to mix the pancakes and stuff. It's like that interaction was a turning point for everything for me, because it gave
Mm.
me the reassurance that she can. And if I put in this time and effort and I pour everything I have into it, I seen, if I have determination to do this, I seen how much progress she's making from that little time frame that we had, right? The first initial cooking eggs, and how interested she was. I'm like, no, my kids can. I had that in my heart because I seen that they can. They showed me. It just looked different, because we can't sit down and do a paperwork together. No, that doesn't interest my kids. But if it's a practical activity, they are still learning the same, like, I don't know, product of
Same skill.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, they
Just in a
they
different
can do
way.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
they showed me that they can, and that gave me the different mindset. It just meant, yes, we had to work a little harder, but that's fine, because the outcome is going to
Mm.
be exactly what I envisioned for my kids. They are going to be happy, they're going to be healthy, they're going to be successful in life, they're going to do everything they put their mind to. And they show me that every single day. And that's my
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
That's my everything.
Quick break for an exciting announcement. This episode of Wine with Wheater is brought to you by the Mind Forum, Australia's leading conference for parents and professionals supporting children with developmental differences. As a speech pathologist, I know how important it is to get practical tips, expert guidance, and connect with other families and professionals who understand the journey. That's exactly what the Mind Forum delivers, with incredible speakers like Dr. Malilo and Dr. Ronaldo, and so many more. It's a fantastic opportunity to learn, share, and feel supported. And because you're listening here, you can get 15% off your registration with the code SHAMOON26. I'll pop the link in the show notes so you can check it out and grab a spot. Trust me, it's an event that you don't want to miss. Can
So
I
yeah.
say, what a gift? What a gift. And I was interviewed the other day on a podcast, and they said, "Oh, how do you, what gets you by?" I said, "My clients, because they show me that they can, but they also teach me it's not how society tells us to be. They show us their way." And what does that
Yeah.
teach us? It shows give everyone an opportunity to have a go. Let them show you that they can. And obviously, we have to be mindful of safety and so forth. But
Yes.
everyone has the possibility or capability to do it. We just have to show them and show them that we believe that they can. And I'm really
Yes.
happy you say that, because there's so much stigma in the world of disability that a child can't. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
parents take that on board with, oh, my child can't, so therefore I have to do everything for them. My child
Mhm.
can't because of their disability. But actually step back. Your child can. Show them that they're
Yes.
capable. And I want
Yes.
to mention, not long ago in a therapy session, a mum who follows you says, Tash has taught me that my child actually has the capabilities, but I just have to allow her to do it rather than control it, which is so
Yes.
powerful. And I'm sure every parent goes through that.
Yeah, me same. I didn't even
Yeah.
think to even ask my daughter if she wanted a cup. It was like
Just
It
give it
was
to
like I
her.
was babying my kids, because you know that thick sense that you're like, oh, your kid's hungry, your kid's thirsty. It's like you just look at them and you just knew, but that wasn't helping
Mm,
my girls, giving them the
mm.
opportunity to respond, to show me what they want. That helped with everything. So yeah, it definitely given them the opportunity. It's like, and it's funny because you're not wrong saying that a lot of us do think they, because of the diagnosis, we think automatically, no, they're not going to be
Yeah.
able to. But they are more than capable, and I think that's what we need to always have front of mind. And even if they're not, that's what we're here for. We're here to encourage them. So a
Yeah.
lot of things that my kids, sure, they maybe they don't want to, or maybe they can't do, but it's all about practice, it's all about repetition, because that's everybody. Like, just because
Yeah.
some people get it on the first try of learning anything, it doesn't mean that someone can't practice it a little bit more and be on the same level as you. That's
Yeah.
fine. We're the end goal, we're going to be together. But yeah, some people just do it differently, and that's fine. That's the beauty about it. Difference is good, not bad.
Isn't different great? And progress is not
Yes.
linear, like it's
No.
everyone has their journey. And I heard a quote the other day. It said, "You're right on time." So it was a reference to NICU babies, preterm babies, and they're worried because they're delayed from a birth
Yeah.
perspective.
Yes.
But your child is developing right on time, the way that they're meant to be. And you just
Yes, for
have to
that
help them and
child.
guide them. Yep, for
Yeah.
that child, for
100%.
that child. I'm
100%. You're never going to
interested now.
find
This
two
is
people the same. You're never going to
Yeah,
find two
yeah.
people the same.
I'm more interested now. You spoke about being in a really dark, lonely place. Then you go on to the online world. Was that also a healing process for you as well, to show I'm taking my child's, in inverted commas, difficulties, and
Hmm.
I'm changing the narrative to what I thought it was many years ago, to
Yeah.
help that other mother? And by you helping another parent, it also heals the part of you that felt really guilty so many years ago?
Yes, no, 100%. And like seeing
Yeah.
everything that, I implement all the strategies with my kids when they're having those challenging times, meltdowns and stuff like that. And like seeing other families, or like just hearing, because I get comments every day saying, I tried, the noughts and crosses or redirection. We did the filling up the ice tray one by one, and it helped so much. And that makes me so happy. And as I said, like, my kids give me that fire to keep going, because I just love seeing them thriving, and just smashing goals that I thought they would never, like talking. That's huge.
Mm.
Communication has been my goal for both my kids for a very long time. Just for them to be able to tell me what hurts, why they're crying, if someone hurt them, that's like, it's very big for a parent who
Mm.
has a child that's nonverbal. But it's the same, I get the same feeling when other parents share their success
Mm.
with me from like strategies they've seen me do with my kids. Oh, it definitely heals my heart, because how I wish I had someone, to like show me these things when I was struggling and felt so alone. So that honestly makes me so happy. And funny enough, I actually get lots and lots of messages from parents who have neurotypical kids, and they're like,
Yeah.
just the way I speak to my, say, daughter in the morning
Doing
has
her hair.
changed. Yeah. And then they're like so surprised at the response, like the interaction they're having, how like calming it is. It's like, and given the option of yes or no with everything, so like I can understand what my kids are really feeling. People are implementing that in their everyday, and that honestly makes me so happy. It definitely makes
Yeah.
Tash, that was struggling, so proud. So yeah.
Yeah. We all get those moments as parents where we're just exhausted and always on all the time. Your battery is going to run out. How do you recharge your battery when your life is just incredibly busy?
Look, I have to say that I'm so very thankful and lucky, because I know not a lot of people are in the same circumstance, but I have a very
Mm.
beautiful, supportive family. My sister is literally like a mum to me, has been my whole life, and she's like, she helps me raise my kids. I want to say
No.
some of it. If I'm not there, she's there with my kids, so I'm very lucky. If I need a minute, my family always reminds me, don't be scared to ask for help. Because I was very ashamed in the early days because I wanted to prove that I could do it on my own. But everybody does need a village. It doesn't have to be 100 people. A village can be one person. Everyone just needs that one person. But also learning to let go of our pride, because
Mm.
there's no shame in asking for help. So once I learned that, and that was with the reassurance of my family reminding me, we are here, we see all the progress that your kids are making, and it's because of the work that you're putting in, and that definitely helped me feel, um yeah, sorry. It makes me so emotional because I'm
No.
so lucky. I'm so lucky. Like, obviously the girl's dad is an amazing dad to the girls, and I'm so thankful because of both of our upbringing. We both had no, like, we didn't have our dads in our life, so
Mm.
whatever's going on between him and I'm just so lucky and happy that he's a great dad to the kids, and my kids have both mum and dad in their life, and
Yeah.
my beautiful family, like their aunties, my mum, their dad's beautiful family, who are so supportive and always asking for help. So yes, that's what I do. Is I just take a minute whenever I need it. I'll let my sister know whether she needs to pick up the kids from school, because I just need that 1 hour to just go for a walk, clear my mind, go through my day. If I've had a difficult morning, assess the situation, think, okay, where could I have maybe done better? Where could I have responded differently? And that helps me a lot. So
You're
yeah.
amazing. As you're saying this, I'm even reflecting on my moments as a mother that I wish I had a bit of Tash in me today. I wish that I had Tash's patience or awareness. And I think, as you said, even parents with neurotypical children, it's about understanding how we communicate with our kids and taking time out
Yeah.
for yourself, but having that village too. It doesn't have to be a
Yes.
massive amount of people,
No.
just has to be that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk to me through, let's be a bit funny now. Talk to me through the misconceptions or the comments people have made about your kids and how you've debunked it, how you've debunked that online.
um I guess the biggest thing is, like, if people see that my kids are on a tablet,
Mm.
like,
It's an AAC device, guys.
yes, like, honestly, or the fact that sometimes when Ava wants to use her words, and they say, "Oh, why don't you get her a communication app?" or stuff like that, which but that's fine. That just tells me how long this person has been on our page, a day, a minute. Or the
They're
fact
hunting
that,
you.
yes, the biggest misconception, though, I have to say, and I can't advocate enough for an AAC app, is parents say, but that will prevent my child from talking, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, oh, I can't, like, if I don't preach about anything, Rita, nothing, not one thing, but that I'm so passionate about. And I get so fired up because I think, like, take Ava as a prime example, right? She's been using the
Yeah.
AAC app since she was 4 years old.
Can I ask which are you using
Yeah.
Prolo to go?
Yeah.
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 Obsessed. Like that. Look, I haven't
Pitched. We're
tried anything
pitching
else,
them
but it's
here.
so good. Yeah. Honestly. Hello. Assistive wear. No,
Sponsor wine with Weeda.
yeah. Your number one
Your number
fan.
one fan here.
Yeah. No, but she's been using the app since she was 4, and I love the fact that you can put it photos of anything and everything that aligned with your child's learning, what they were used to, because that helps a lot. Ava
Mm.
listening to the words over and over, because obviously when you're first trying to teach your child how to use ASC app, repetition is key. So you
Yes.
want to, minimize all the tiles. You want to focus on one to start with, one or two that would really, I guess, help them,
Reinforce it.
um
Yeah.
100%, especially with their immediate
Mm.
needs.
Mm.
So that's what I did. And the repetition of it helped her. And then she would, like, start to mime it. She knew, like, exactly what she had to say when we didn't have the app, say in a difficult situation, she had to go to the bathroom. She
Mm.
knew because she was, in that pressure moment. I'm like, okay, I'm like, you know what to say. you know, because she always knew the
Yeah.
sign for toilet. But yeah, she knew like toilet, toilet. That was like probably the first word she said. And then I did her favorite biscuit on it, and she learned how to say that. And it's because of the app. And now, if you guys see Ava, she goes on, she doesn't even need the title. She'll go on the actual the keyboard on the app to type out whatever she wants,
Oh,
because she
wow.
wants to hear it back. If she wants to watch a
To
movie and she
confirm it.
doesn't know the
Mm.
title, yes, she will see it, she will type it for me, and then she will listen to it so she can say it to me. That is so beautiful. And that is
Mm.
all because of the AAC app. So
Yeah.
please don't rule out the fact that your kid will not talk. And even if, say, your child will not speak, but that is a voice. We're giving
Mhm.
our children a voice by giving them that option of having AAC app, using, I guess, sign language, giving them no option and just, relying on the sole fact that you want them to talk is not the way to go. Please give your child all the options possible. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And so I always tell, as a speaker, I always say communication isn't about verbal communication. It's also
Yes.
about how you can use something to support your child's voice. And in your children's case, it's an AAC. And many parents think, well, if I start this device, my child won't
Yeah.
learn to talk verbally. That's a myth. It will
Yes.
support your child's ability to talk verbally because it takes that pressure off them because there's something there to help them. And as Tash said, the repetition of seeing the concept, hearing the word, the
Yeah.
reinforcement. If I touch Tim Tam and I hear the word Tim Tam, I get a Tim Tam. I never knew the power of communication by me just doing that to get what I want. And hopefully
Yes.
over time, I will then learn the word Tim Tam. You know,
Yeah.
so you have
Yes.
to, it's, I don't know why there's such a negative assumption. I feel like because we feel like we're not pushing the verbal, but for
Yeah.
kids, they need as much support. And getting a tool like Prolo to Go or another, like a lamp or any other AAC device,
Yeah.
it will help them. But I think a lot of it comes with the difficulties that it comes with learning the device that
Yes.
parents find it hard because it actually is really hard. And amongst everything that parents need to do, it's another
Yes.
thing
It's
that they have to
overwhelming.
do, which, yes,
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 I was so overwhelmed. I'm not going to lie. But, when you want your kids to do good, you will do anything and everything and educate yourself so you can help them. And trust me, once you see
absolutely.
that progress, you'll be so invested. But yeah.
I love that. I love that. Any others that you want to debunk? I think that the first two were the big ones.
Yeah, those were the big ones. Just that a lot of them think that when see with Aaliyah, because she's always stimming, either vocal stimming or just doing anything and everything that feels right for her. Joining in, people think, oh, and I get this a lot when she's vocal stimming or jumping up and down, and they're like, "Oh, you just ruined it for her. You ruined her flow. She's just happy to like you." But I'm thinking, like, I've lived with my daughter for 9 years, and I respect my girls' boundaries more than anybody. If my girls, that's why I ask yes or no. Do you need help? Yes or no, so I can understand how to better
Mm,
support my kids. I'm happy for yes, and I'm happy for no. Like either way, I just want to know how I can support you. And Leah's the one that always says, and she waits for me because she wants me to like sort of parallel her stim. She
yeah.
wants that connection back, that interaction back. And she'll say, Mummy's really good, or Mum pie's really good, and she wants me to repeat that because she loves the sound of it. So yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that's another myth too, is like if they're stimming or if they're happy to like let them be, leave them alone. No, that's the best time
Join
for
them.
us to interact, to to get involved in their happiness. This is their world that they're showing us, and this is where we need to. They're letting you in. It's so hard. Parents, whenever I talk to any parents, the hardest thing they find is trying to connect with their kids. And yes, it is very challenging because we haven't yet uncovered what our kids
What?
want, what they like, how to communicate with them. This is the time to get involved when your kids happy about something. And obviously happy stimming is a big sign of showing their excitement. That's when we
Mm,
need to be involved. And obviously we're going to read the room. Body language is everything. If they're showing signs that they don't want you to be involved 100%. But 90% of the time, my kids want me to join in.
Yeah.
This is when their eyes light up and think, my mom loves me for who I am. You know, she
Oh,
wants to do what I'm
so
doing.
true.
She's happy for me. It's like so beautiful because that's how my connection with my kids is like growing because of those moments. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Love
big
it.
myth.
Love it.
Yeah.
You spoke about your childhood being quite challenging. If you were to go talk to your younger self, what would you tell her about adult Tash and how amazing she is?
I would tell her that she's gonna grow up to do amazing things and help people, which is has always been something, you know, that I've always wanted to be a good person. It could be because I'm scared of being in trouble. It's just a fear I have. But it's so nice to be nice, and I've always felt that even as a young girl. So everything that's happening now in my life, I'm so grateful because it's always the mindset that I've had from very young. So I would want to say that you're going to be so proud of yourself. You're going to be an amazing mother to your kids. Your kids are going to love you so, so much, and they're going to feel the love that you have for them. And yeah, I feel like I would be so proud of Big Tash.
Yeah,
If
little
I ever
Tash is
went,
proud of big
yeah, if I
Tash.
had a
I love
glimpse,
it.
I'd be like, go, Tash. You can do
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. If you met a mum today who just left the pediatrician and they said the words level 3, global developmental delay, speech, OT, what would you
Yeah.
tell her?
I would definitely tell her to go through the emotions, through the morning of what you imagine life would be like for your child. But don't stay there too long, you know, don't stay there too
Mm.
long. Definitely do everything again. Early intervention is key. That's what I've learned from my kids. So make sure you buckle in, put all the hard work in the early days. It will pay off. I can promise you that. Also, always trust your gut, okay? Always get a second opinion. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks or says. You know your child best. Go with your gut feeling about everything to do with your kids. And just know that the love that you have for your kids, it will honestly carry you through the hardest days. So, yeah.
Tash, as a speech pathologist, I am in awe of you. As a mother, I am so proud of you. There is no other adjective I could use with how I'm just in awe, or I want to celebrate you because you have shown the world in a very public way how we can change a child's life. And in my clinic space, I see so many parents that are quite stuck in their belief system that the child has to enter their world. But
Mm,
you beautifully show if we want to create that change with our kids, we need to enter their world. And I say this really wholeheartedly that it's not even about having a child with a disability. I think all children, we need to enter their worlds to create those beautiful relationships with them, to really foster their communication, their development. But more importantly, we're creating these remarkable adults through the way that we are with them. And
yes.
Tash, I'm just so proud of you with how you use your platform to raise awareness about the disability world and autism, but to empower parents who feel lonely, hopeless, confused, because their own world is quite disorientated and overwhelming. Yeah. You shine the light for parents who haven't had their light, their flame lit yet. So thank you for that. I really appreciate you coming here on Wine with Weeda to continue the conversations that Wine with Weeda is all about, to make parents feel seen, heard, and provide that sense of belonging.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Rita. I hope our podcast can bring some comfort to parents who are in the early stages of diagnosis.
Mm.
Definitely, because I'd love them to feel less alone in this journey, and also to give them the, I guess, encouragement to keep going.
Yeah. I will put Tasha's Instagram handle in the show notes. Please give her a follow. It's my daily entertainment. I love watching her daughters thrive and grow, and sometimes some comedy too, like our recent Santa photos. That was just so cute.
Re-
But yeah, give
reality
her
of taking
it's
photos.
the
Yeah.
reality. I absolutely love it because you're so real, and real attracts real. Now, Tash, why do I keep calling you Jess? Tash. Um,
I look
if
like a
you were to,
Jess.
you look like a Jess. Maybe because it's the 4 letters in your name. I keep thinking, anyway, we don't need to analyze that. But if you were to be a better version of yourself tomorrow, Tash, what word will you apply to yourself today?
Uh, believe.
Believe?
Yeah, believe that your kids can, and once you have that mindset, everything will fall into place. So yeah, believe, always believe.
Believe.
Yeah.
And on our last interview, we sang the song, or I sang the song, the Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, "When You Believe, Anything Can
Yeah.
Happen." So I
That's
think
so
I think that's
true.
the I think that's our promo song for this episode. Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston, "When You Believe that a child can." What a wonderful way to end this episode. Tash, thank you again for coming on the podcast. I sincerely appreciate you giving me the time and your wonderful insight. It has been remarkable. And for everyone else, thank you for listening. Another episode will be brought to your ears really soon. Take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Wine with Weeda. I hope you found some new inspiration, learnt something new, or gained a fresh perspective. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd be so grateful if you please leave a 5-star review, as it really helps the show get in the ears of new listeners, plus it takes 5 seconds. If you're keen for more strategies and insights, then head over to Instagram and follow RS Speech Pathology.